Drink Cinema! Cheers.
Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are 2 out of 3 brothers discussing what we have watched this month. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
We are into November. How are you?
Busy. Italy.
Busy.
There's a lot of movies.
Yes, you have foreshadowed this in our previous episode, saying that November will be busy for you. We also have 2 gigs in November, like live gigs.
We do. Live gigs.
Do you want to talk about that now or tack that on to the end of the episode?
Let's tack it on.
Well, people might not listen to the end of the episode.
Okay, we'll talk about it now.
Because we might say,
That's promising.
spoiler warning, and then people just turn the whole episode off.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll leave the one that we've both watched that may contain spoilers till the end of the episode. But
Okay.
we can talk about our live gigs
We can.
now. One you will have missed if you're listening to this on the day that it's released,
Because it was last night.
because it was last night. And that was Rainbow Popcorn watching Can't Stop the Music, the
Yep.
Village People dumpster fire that they called a movie.
Uh-huh.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun to watch that again. It's hilarious and bad.
It is terrible and hilarious. And the next Rainbow Popcorn viewing is The Happiest Season
Which I'm hoping is good.
on the 5th of December.
Yep.
It's all right, 5th. Thursday, 5th of December.
Yep.
But also next month, this isn't our live gig, but I'm very much looking forward to going to Pride to watch Love Actually with Cortex for Pride movie night.
I've heard it's a pretty good movie.
It is a pretty good movie that has survived being problematic.
Okay, great.
I'm going to listen back to this whole year and see how many times I've mentioned Love Actually in
18.
2024, because it's a lot more than it probably should be.
Like 3 isn't more than it should be.
Well, we did
I
review,
do like it. It's just mention it in November and December and then be done with it.
and in my defense, we did review 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
That's true.
So,
And it's basically the same movie.
and it's basically the same movie with less gays in a movie that came out 20 years after 4 Weddings.
10.
10. Yeah, probably. Yeah, 10. We also live gig. Exciting. You will have seen the announcement of this on the socials this week if you follow us at 2 out of 3 brothers. We are doing our first collab.
A collab.
Yes.
Great. Well, not really.
Wait, what do you mean? Not really our first or not really a collab?
Not really our first. You weren't still doing a live event the first Thursday of every month at Pride of our Footscray, Rainbow Popcorn Live, as a collab? Or are you talking Two Drink Cinema's first collab?
Well, no, I think us live at Pride is us having an event at Pride.
Okay.
Although you do collab with Mon for the cocktails.
That is a collab.
Anyway, our first Two Drink Cinema
Joint
collab.
event. Okay.
This is with Boroondara Brass, one of the top brass bands in Victoria. And we are doing Songs from the Magic Kingdom. Stop, because that's as much as you're allowed to sing for copyright reasons. Yeah. We are doing a Disney show.
That wouldn't have been copyright because that wasn't really that close.
Yeah. There was about
Close
30%
enough that knowing-
out of tune.
Yep.
The event is Songs from the Magic Kingdom, where we will be talking about Disney animated films, their history and their impact,
Yes.
and the brass band will be playing the music
Selections from the Magic Kingdom.
from those Magic Kingdom movies. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be good. I can't wait to hear the band play them.
I was just saying to the band on the weekend that it's kind of a gig for Disney adults.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a bring your kid and sing along to Frozen type concert.
No.
Kids can come.
Oh, yeah, you come as long as you pay.
Kids can sing
Anybody
along.
can come.
But it's kind of a Disney adult concert.
Yep.
The link to both of those gigs, Live at Pride and Songs from the Magic Kingdom, are in our episode description or below on the YouTube video or on our socials.
Yep.
We want people to come.
Of course.
It'll be heaps of fun.
They're
The
really good.
Disney gig is in Camberwell because it's Boroondara Brass, so we're going to the city of Boroondara. We are crossing the bridge.
Oh, God.
We're going to cover all sides of the city with our gigs. We've got
Great.
Footscray, and Camberwell.
And I'm going to go to Fitzroy next week. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Cool. I'm actually not going to go to Fitzroy next week. And who knows? If this is a success, maybe it'll spawn future collabs with Burundara Brass.
Hopefully. Because they're a great band, great bunch of people.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. So book those tickets. Let's have a drink.
Oh, yeah.
I found, guess what?
Oh, my gosh. Is this a lemon-flavoured vodka beverage?
There is vodka and lemonade. I'm not...
Oh, is it lemonade or lemonade?
Well, it was next to the...
we'll find out soon.
It was next to the hard rated, right?
Okay.
Seth and Riley's Garage.
With juiced lemons.
With juiced lemons, yeah. They've been on the roids. And it's 4.5% alcohol. It's a pretty nondescript can, I got to be honest. Sorry.
It's crafted with vodka and juiced lemons.
Okay, well, at least it's vodka and not white spirit like Bundaberg lemon squash.
That's true.
Seth and Riley's Garage. Let's see. Oh, good can opening sound.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's actually all right.
Yeah. That's definitely more in the lemonade category than the lemon squash category.
Yeah, it's not lemon.
If you think when Sprite did a Sprite more lemon, that's what that's more like. It's closer to Sprite than Solo.
Oh, Sprite Plus. Is that what Sprite Plus is? Is that what came up on my Uber Eats menu the other day and I accidentally nearly bought that?
It has caffeine.
Oh,
Sprite
got
Plus.
that.
That's the plus.
Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is good.
Usually things used to get taken out of soft drinks these days.
Except caffeine is the thing that's getting added.
Great.
That's all right. Seth
pretty
and
good.
Riley
I'll
in
have
their
another one of
garage.
them.
Yeah, it's giving...
Well done, Seth. Well done, Riley.
yeah. Okay, good.
I don't think I know anybody named Seth.
It's got, actual squeezed lemons and actual
good.
vodka, not just white spirit.
That's great. Because I think this is the thing, right? So maybe they can't call it that because I went to trivia with some friends couple of weeks ago. Yes, we won. And there's a question that's like, they try to get you to go up to the bar and ask the bar staff.
Yep.
And then get a drink,
Yeah.
which doesn't work if you know the answer. And it's like, there was
But also doesn't work if you're just going to buy a drink anyway.
Yeah, exactly, which I was.
Yeah.
There was a question that was like, such and such a spirit couldn't be called this spirit. And so we worked it out that it was whiskey.
Yeah,
And I
right.
was like, it could not be called Scotch whiskey because it's not made in Scotland. It was
Correct.
somewhere near Scotland. Some isle. You know, they love their isles up there.
Was it Islay? There's one I-S-L-A-Y.
Isle of... No,
Okay.
can't remember.
Well, that makes sense that Scotch whiskey is made in Scotland.
Yeah, and Irish whiskey is made in Ireland.
don't
And
know.
vodka is made at Seth and Riley's garage.
I wonder how Arnott's are going to go with the Scotch finger, though.
But that's
Not made in Scotland.
shortbread. But that's their Scotch finger is a registered trademark of the Arnott's Corporation.
Yeah, until Scotland go, we make a biscuit that breaks in half only 50% of the time. We want to take it back.
And don't snap it that way, snap it that way.
Correct.
Maybe that's what the biscuit is in Scotland. They snap it the wrong way. 'Cause
they
everything's
snap it
backwards.
in half instead of in half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you watched any movies recently?
I've watched a fair few movies, Lee. I don't know where to start.
Can I start then?
Yeah.
I've finally watched, and I've said it on probably 8 episodes this year, that I should watch Bullet Train
Oh, yes. Okay, good.
with Brad Pitt
Yep.
and a bunch of other people that are actually good. Joey King.
Oh, yeah, we know her. We like her.
Well, she got a shout out in our last week's reshare of Stonewall.
Yeah, Stonewall. She was the best actress in it.
So Joey King, Brad Pitt, David Leitch, Bad Bunny,
Okay.
Karen Fukuhara, Logan Lerman, Brian Tyree Henry, Aaron
Yep,
Taylor
we know
Johnson,
them.
Michael Shannon.
We know them.
You've
Yep.
seen all of them.
Yep.
They are all very good. Joey King is very good. Aaron Taylor Johnson is
Bond. James Bond.
not 100% confirmed.
Oh, it's not confirmed.
I looked it up that night because I was watching him and I was like, yeah, he looks really good in a suit.
Is that because Ben Shapiro can't handle the fact that he took his wife's name? Is that why it's not James Bond?
Yeah,
He's not
that's
manly enough.
why, yeah.
That's the exact reason why.
Yeah. The same as when, what's the English one's name?
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan was crying on X because Daniel Craig was carrying his baby in one of those front wrap things. And Chris Evans had a go at him. It's one of my favourite tweets that I see get shared around. When Piers Morgan goes,
Piers.
"Not you too, Mr. Bond." And then Chris Evans tweets him back and says,
That's Captain America, everybody.
"You have to be pretty insecure in your masculinity to judge the way another man parents his child." Anyway, Brad Pitt is very good. Joey King is very good. Aaron Taylor-Johnson is very good. And it's just a fun movie, which I thought it would be.
Action comedy,
2022, 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Oh, that's long.
Yeah. It's not short, but it worked. I would have...
It's not long. Sorry, I take that back.
No, well, it's not like
It's long
Gladiator
for that
2
kind of
comes
movie.
out next week. It's
gosh.
not that long.
Is that long? Oh, no.
I saw a headline, right?
Is it the Gladiator 2 is going to be awful?
So it was about the length of Gladiator 2, right? And
How long does it go for?
it said...
2.5 hours. That's not long.
No, well, this is the article that I read. The headline was like, the epic runtime of Gladiator 2 is going to be epic.
Isn't the first one go for like 3 hours?
The first line of the article says it goes for 2 hours and 20 minutes long. That makes it shorter than the original at 2 hours 35. So this headline was like, oh my God, Gladiator 2's back to epic cinema and Ridley Scott's made it so long and it's going to be a huge epic movie and people are asking for an interval. It's shorter than Gladiator 1.
You know what? It'll make money, but I don't think it'll be good. That's what I called it since they announced it.
Heard the term, it might come up a little bit later, flopbuster? I heard it recently.
Imagine that would be, it's a shit movie that makes a lot of money.
No, it's a movie that's expected to be a blockbuster, but flops.
Okay.
Something like...
I will talk about one of those movies coming up, I believe.
Something like, they kind of said it about the Marvels.
Okay. Or anything by DC.
Yeah, anything by DC.
Madam Web.
Except for Aquaman.
Aquaman 2.
So, it is...
I think more people watch the trial of Depp and Amber Heard than actually Amber Heard in a movie.
True. Bullet Train is based on a 2010 novel, Maria Beetle, written by Kotaro Isaka, and is the second novel in Isaka's Hitman series, of which the first novel was previously adapted as the 2015 Japanese film Grasshopper.
Okay. That makes more sense now.
This will work very well as a novel. Like,
Okay.
as I was watching it, I was like, yes, I can see that this bit should be extended, bit should be extended. Also, it makes sense now that I know that it's the second novel, because it kind of starts as Brad Pitt's character coming out of retirement and he gets a new code name as an assassin. So whatever happened at the end of Grasshopper kind of retired him, and then he's back.
Cool.
So what happens is different assassins end up on a bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka.
Great.
Or Kyoto. And stuff happens along the way. It's a very
I mean, I'd hope so. It'd be boring if it didn't.
Mind you, we watched that show on SBS of the Going Home show, where it was just people catching the train home after work every day. And then their stories kind of interweave.
Yep.
So they're all assassins that have a connection to the same job.
Okay.
So they're not all on there to kill the one person.
So it's like Love Actually.
It's like Love Actually, but on a train with murder and death and Yakuza.
Great.
It's good. It is funny. Like I said, it's very well acted. Joey King is very good. Even Michael Shannon's Russian accent is pretty good.
Is she an assassin?
Joey King?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
It's good. And I am glad that I watched it. But there were bits where I wanted more. And I feel like the interweaving of the stories plus the backstory that it kept cutting to would work well as a longer form book / graphic novel.
Okay.
But if you haven't seen Bullet Train, I do recommend it if you are an action comedy fan. And it does make me think Aaron Taylor Johnson will be very good as James Bond if he gets the gig.
Yeah. Is he British?
Yeah.
I always thought he was American.
Full British.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
He's good.
I've watched a number of movies, Lee.
Okay.
Like a lot
What
of
do you want to
movies.
talk about today?
Okay. Eeny, meeny, no. Speaking of flopbusters,
Yep.
Joker Folie à Deux.
Yep.
Flop.
To a folly. Flop.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, should we wait? Are you going to see it?
Well, no one else is seeing it.
No.
So I don't want to go to an empty cinema. Or if I am going to see it in a cinema, should I go this week before its run ends?
Yeah,
early?
that's true. Especially if better movies are coming out.
Well,
But look, like...
so I've heard a couple of things.
Yep, cool.
Right? So Joker 1, Taxi Driver, was
Taxi Driver Folie à Deux.
very much aimed at the men who don't understand the actual meaning behind the movie Fight Club.
Yep.
I don't want to paint them all with the same brush and say the word incel, but that can give you an idea.
Okay,
I think of the target audience of a big part of Joker.
Yep.
Was like, I'm a man and nobody listens to me anymore and life's so hard I'm going to kill Robert De Niro.
Yep.
That was a big part of the target audience for Joker.
Yeah.
And then I think from what I've heard, one of the big criticisms is that they then added Lady Gaga, gay icon, and made it a musical.
Look,
So that the men who feel like they don't have anything in this world anymore
now don't have
Joker.
Well, just go watch The Dark Knight. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Look, obviously, Joker 1, great movie, good. Joaquin,
Very good.
Oscar, that was
Yep.
always going to happen. Then you add Lady Gaga.
Yep.
So then you're like,
Can act.
This is going to be good. Wow. Amazing. She'd be great as Harley Quinn.
And Harley Quinn's a very good character.
Yeah.
And if you do, like Harley Quinn has a lot of that troubled person trying to attach and reach out to something.
Yeah. Don't know if that came across. It did not meet any expectations anybody had. I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
Look, and it didn't even come close. I think it's still kind of all dark and Arthur, what's his name? He's so lonely and weird and mental.
Yeah.
So it picks up like he's in prison, Arkham.
Yeah. After he killed Robert De Niro.
Yes, not straight after,
yeah.
a little bit after.
Yeah.
So it's still all dark and tell us a joke, tell us a joke, tell us a joke. And he doesn't tell you a joke during the whole fucking movie, which is very frustrating. But nothing happens.
Ugh.
So it's then him and Thing, and then he meets Lady Gaga, and she's not Harley Quinn. She's just going to be Harley Quinn, but then not really.
Well, he's not really Joker.
And there's random songs. So the main problem I had with it, I'm like, okay, sure, add songs. But if you're going to have the songs in the movie, have them all the same way. So some seemed to be in real life.
Okay.
Like Harley Quinn and the Joker are breaking out of Arkham and they're singing while they're doing it.
Right.
That seemed to be real life. But then there's also song and dance of them like they're hosting Sonny and Cher. That's
Which
a
is
fantasy.
a fantasy.
And then the whole undertone of the story, because then he's going to trial,
Yep.
and then the thing is he's a schizo.
Yep.
So they're saying
Right.
Arthur Fleck didn't kill Robert De Niro. the Joker did. And the Joker is a character that he made up in his messed up mind.
Because society has fucked him up because he's a man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen.
Oh.
So, like, it kind of was going somewhere, but then didn't. And I was like, you know how in Chicago, the movie, not the city.
I've been there though.
Great. And then they're all, oh, I'm in prison. Oh, but here's a flashy dance number that's actually a fantasy.
Yes. Cell Block Tango is actually the fantasy, yes.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
So then he's having a mental fucking breakdown that he imagines that he's
Through
singing.
song.
So then he is a schizo. So Arthur Fleck is really in prison just singing to himself, but the Joker is a singer-song dance man, which then doesn't really correlate with the first one, but this movie didn't because it was terrible.
All right. That makes sense because then he also could have like imagined up Harley Quinn as this woman who is interested in him, which would then have tapped into the incel audience.
Yes, so that was my problem. It's like, if they used it better, adding musical numbers could have made sense. But it made no sense. So then it just seemed like random. And what was the point of doing a song and dance?
It just seemed like, well, we've got Gaga.
That's what it seemed like.
And I want to sell a soundtrack.
Yeah.
So let's cover the song from Kath and Kim.
Yeah, pretty much.
I still can't get over how the internet was like, oh my God, have you heard that Gaga has covered the song from Kath and Kim? Like, no. Go one further back step. It's not Gina Riley's song.
So the main problem is the song and dancing, the singing and dancing. I think the acting's good. Like Joaquin and Lady Gaga, and Brendan Gleeson plays like a guard.
Yep.
Good.
Mama Morton.
Pretty much. He doesn't get a number. He doesn't get a dance number.
Damn,
though.
he doesn't get his tits out.
Nah.
Gaga can act.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Music's good. It looks good. Acting's good. But then the thing is, you sit there and you're like, oh no, this is good. Oh wait, they're singing again. Why are they singing? I don't know. What's going on? Oh, that's right, nothing. He's still just sitting in prison.
And then you're like, oh, but Gaga's good.
And then it's just like, and done.
Oh, Finn.
Pretty much. Then a thing happens, and then I can't remember how it ended.
Finn. Just say Finn.
Yep.
Okay.
Finn.
I listened to a podcast recently that said the anti-hero is a thing that is going away in popularity. Either the anti-hero or the villain with the backstory that explains why they're bad.
But unless it's a Ryan Murphy series.
Well, this is what I was then going to say. Go on to the TV show that we've both watched.
Yes.
Because
okay,
because I was
good.
thinking about the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she just
Spoilers.
okay. Agatha All Along.
Agatha All Along.
Right.
Should we sing the song?
Yeah, no.
The song that... Okay, I have a lot of questions about the last two episodes. Because I was sitting and watching the last two episodes.
Is one of your questions, why was it 2 episodes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you start this series with 2 episodes released on the same day, and then
Weekly.
weekly, and then the last 2 episodes? It's like, quick, guys, we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And then you do 2 episodes to wrap it up. I don't know. It's like RuPaul's Drag Race. They wrap it up quickly so the seasons don't overlap. So you finish the season of the bloody Global All-Stars, and then, oh, fuck, next week there's a brand new series of somewhere else in the world that I have to watch.
Yeah, well, that's why. Probably there's something that comes out next week on Disney Plus that we're all going to have to watch.
Great.
So, Agatha All Along.
Agatha All Along.
Potential spoilers.
There will be spoilers.
So, the song.
Joe
Not the
Locke
song.
is gay. Oh, sorry. Is that a spoiler?
So, yeah, the gay kid from Heartstopper is gay.
The gay from Hardtop is American now. And emo.
And Jewish.
Jewish.
Which...
Yeah, sorry, why did I laugh at that?
The creators have been criticised for casting a non-Jewish Jewish boy as a Jewish boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't read the article.
But how many gay Jews are out there?
Oh, at least 3.
Are they going to get bloody Ben Platt to do it?
He can play a 16-year-old again. Surely.
I just watched a movie with de-aging. I decided I'm not a fan.
Oh, Benjamin Button.
No. See, that's good.
They did it
and
well.
that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Agatha All Along.
Agatha All Along. Very queer. Right? We'll say
Very,
that. But in the thing of like the anti-hero or the hero with the tragic backstory that's made them bad thing moving out isn't the case in Agatha All Along. Because she literally does just murder witches.
Yeah, there was no I murder them. And it's like, Mummy, why do we murder witches? And then she's like, to survive. I'm like, okay, we won't dig deeper into that.
But then after the son dies, she kills more of them. And I was like, oh, well, that's her. She gets angry after the son dies, and so she kills witches. Like,
Yeah.
No, she
was
son
already killing the son.
to get the witches to kill. So she's just a killer. And at the end of it, Billy is just like, I fucking hate you. Get the fuck away from me. You're making me kill this boy so my brother can. Oh, now we'll be partners.
Yeah, and then it was like, shall we go? Credits. I'm like, okay, so there's a second season. Is they going to have a movie now?
Well, so Joe Locke's now in the MCU. Billy Maximoff is a character called Wiccan.
Yeah, I know that.
And that's going to come into the MCU. And I've already seen an article today on BuzzFeed or something that said all of the possibilities for Wiccan to enter the MCU.
They reckon that the other guy from Heartstopper
Yeah.
is then also going to enter the MCU and they'll be boyfriends again.
As Hulkling.
That sounds gay.
But I don't think the world is ready for Hulkling when you consider the way they treated She-Hulk.
Was She-Hulk a lesbian?
No, but She-Hulk was not Hulk smash. And people didn't like it.
She was just a buff woman.
She was just... No, she was a buff woman and she was Hulk, but she was also a lawyer and she danced at one point, which apparently everyone hated. So then to be like, oh yeah, we know you didn't like She-Hulk. Mark Ruffalo's not doing anything more. Here, have a gay Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't think that will survive.
No.
And the MCU is treading a fine line at the moment.
They're not doing well, are they?
Well, some things are really good
Yeah.
and some things are not.
I have a question. Have the movies stopped being good since they started doing TV?
The movies have stopped being good since I think they were just like, well, we've got all these characters, let's just make movies. Whereas in the lead up to Avengers Endgame, it was like, this is all leading
to Endgame.
to 20 movies up to Thanos.
Yeah.
Whereas now we've just got like, here's a Captain Marvel movie. People liked Captain Marvel.
Multiverse, just so we can get them back.
Let's
I
make
hate it.
her a Captain Marvel movie. Here's Doctor Strange.
Wiccan.
I can't stand Doctor Strange. Let's make a Doctor Strange movie. And people liked WandaVision, so we better put Wanda in it. People liked Agatha's wink from WandaVision. Let's make a whole series of Agatha.
She's a meme.
All Along.
Let's make her a series.
Yeah. But it was a good series.
It was a good series. I'm not sure about the acting in some of it. I thought it was a good series. I get it. At the end, I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, so he did it. That's the spoiler, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, so he did it. And then he looked at the camera and goes, it was me. I'm like, okay, thank you. I already worked that out, Joe.
Yeah.
Go have an eating disorder on Netflix now. Fuck.
I think the story was very good, and I think Marvel have done well to make a series for people that haven't had those series made for them.
Yes.
And it pissed off the fanboys.
Which is,
Fine. But they wouldn't have been happy with it anyway. Like, even if it was a female-led, like in the Black Widow movie, was a good movie and followed or was it the Black Widow series? Whichever one. The thing that was centered around Florence Pugh.
oh, yes.
Yeah. It was a good series and fit the superhero tropes of movie. And they didn't like that because it was female-led. It wasn't a Hemsworth or Chris Evans.
And people love Robert Downey Jr. so much that now he has to come back into the MCU
Yeah.
and play a different character.
I don't know about that. That's going to be a multiverse bullshit.
That
We've already talked about
that
it.
annoys me, and I didn't even watch them. I saw the thing and I was like, Iron Man's Doom?
No, it's
But it's a completely different character.
it's absolutely.
It's a publicity
We've said it
stunt.
before. If they come back and go, oh, in this multiverse, instead of Tony Stark becoming Iron Man and being good, Tony Stark gets pissed off because someone killed Gwyneth Paltrow, so now he's Doctor Doom.
Why would anybody get pissed off about that?
And then he now is on our Earth, lazy.
Lazy.
Agatha All Along was not lazy. It was well written,
good.
and it was a deliberate, like a very deliberate. Like sometimes they'll just be like, "Oh, we'll just put a gay in," or like,
yeah.
we'll just put
And won't reference it.
one old woman in,
Yeah.
and we'll just put one person of color in."
Yeah.
But like, no, they went, "We're going to put a bi,
Yeah.
a lesbian, a woman of color, another ethnic woman, an old person, and another old person, and a gay
twink.
boy."
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked bloody good in the Maleficent outfit, I have to say.
Yeah, that episode was good.
Yeah, I liked that when they did all the traditional witches, because that was a running theme as well of representation. Of like,
Yes.
I don't want to ride these brooms because that's what people think witches do.
Yeah.
And then when they
Or
were
vacuum cleaners in Hocus
Glinda
Pocus.
and Elphaba and Maleficent and the crone-looking one, they were like, "Oh, I don't want to be viewed like this," which is those people in real life.
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't want to be viewed like this."
Yes.
So they did that very well, and subsequently and rightfully pissed the fanboys off very well.
Which we're all fine with.
Yeah. Could you watch it without watching WandaVision? No.
No.
Did you watch WandaVision without watching everything else?
Yes.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Because it was its own thing.
WandaVision's really good. It's a
Yeah.
very well made show.
It's much better than Agatha.
Yeah. But Agatha does its thing,
Yeah.
the representation and the different stories, well.
I think that WandaVision was more structured
Yeah.
because it was I feel like this is the concept we're going to do. And then they were like, oh, now we have to write something for Agatha because everybody loves her. What should we make up?
That is why I think the MCU is struggling. Is because
Just as I decided to start watching them.
when they decided to make the Avengers, and then they were like, fuck, this is really successful, the first Avengers, we're going to go all the way to Endgame.
Yeah.
They had teams and teams of people writing, structuring, plotting, cross-plotting, everything.
Yeah.
Whereas now they're just like, fuck, we haven't released anything on Disney Plus for a couple of weeks. Lucasfilm, what do you got? Oh, I'm going to have 3 weeks. Nah, 3 weeks I need to get this Obi-Wan show ready. Oh, well,
Speaking of gays.
Marvel, what have you got? Oh, well, we've kind of got this witch thing that we're about 75. Go. Do it.
Wrap it all up in an episode about tarot cards.
And then this is finishing. Agatha's finishing. So now they've gone back to Lucasfilm and they'll be like, you better be fucking done with this Jar Jar Binks spin-off or we've got nothing to put out for Christmas.
And George Lucas is like, mate, I can't. Pedro Pascal is exhausted. He's literally fit a whole career into 2 years. He can't do any more. Just give him a break,
Yep.
please. And that's why it's also bad that there is too long in between series now as well. Like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
when was the last season? And
Stranger Things is going to struggle because they've gone from having to play 17-year-olds and they're all about 5 foot something to Finn Wolfhard is 6'9" and 23 now.
we all know my opinion about Finn Wolfhard.
Okay.
I saw him in a movie the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
No.
Can I tell you something to do with
That's it.
Stranger Things
So you
that
get everyone.
disappointed me?
Is it the second
Damsel.
season?
Damsel.
Oh, terrible movie.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh,
terrible.
my God.
Sorry.
I think that's the worst movie I've seen this year. And that includes... No, it's up there. I can't say it's worse than another movie
Can't
I've
stop
watched.
the music.
No. Yeah, well...
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
I don't know. It was pretty
You
bad.
expect them to be bad, though. Like
Yeah.
Netflix and Millie Bobby Brown, like the superstar of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect them to put up that half-effort kind of attempt to spin a mythical kind of princessy story on its head.
Yeah.
It was made far too cheaply. The special effects were terrible.
Oh, they were.
And
The writing was bad.
the writing was bad.
And who was the thing in it? Oh, Robin Wright. Was it Robin Wright?
Robin Wright.
She was all right.
This is...
I just watched
right,
another movie.
writers are worried about AI, right?
Yeah.
Rightfully so. But it's only the shit writers that should be worried
Yes.
about AI, because good writers are still going to get hired to write good stuff because computers can't do it. And I'm not sure the robots will ever be able to write as well as good writers.
Yeah.
But an AI could have put out the script to Damsel.
Yes.
An AI could have put out the script to Can't Stop the Music. And then Nancy Walker could have just added her little sitcom sketches in between.
So bad. Can't wait.
Next week, our review of Can't Stop the Music will come out if you didn't catch it live last night at Pride. Is there anything else you want to talk about in this episode?
Lee, I've been watching some horror movies.
Oh, okay. I started watching a horror TV.
Oh, by
'cause I
Mike
like
Flanagan.
it. Yeah, The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, I didn't like that one.
What have you watched?
I watched some older ones and I watched a new one. So I watched Hereditary.
James Wan.
Is it?
I think so.
No, it's Ari, what's his face, that did Midsommar.
Oh, yeah.
So I watched Hereditary. Tony Collette is
Without
amazing.
Tony.
Everything else is just meh.
She screams a lot, yeah?
She screams a lot. That scene that I've seen people do with the thing at the dinner table, crazy. She's very good.
She's very good.
When people
sorry,
say
Ari.
she should have won an Oscar, no.
I'm sorry, Ari. I got Hereditary confused with Malignant by James Wan.
So I watched that.
Yep.
Very good. Great. I kind of get what was going on, but it could have done it better.
Could have been scarier, I think, from memory, because I've watched it.
I jumped a couple of times.
Yeah.
She was like on the ceiling being like, meh.
She's the die in a car crash one.
Yeah, the
Yep.
kid gets a
Yep.
thing,
Head chop.
which I knew exactly was going to happen when she stuck her head out the window.
Yeah.
I was like, head's going to come off.
Yep.
I watched a new one, but in the same weekend that I watched this new one that was messed up, I watched Midsommar.
Oh, yeah. Talk about Midsommar, please. Because that's Ari Aster as well.
Let me get my phone because that's where my notes are. Look, it's good.
Yeah.
I've worked out that I don't like slasher gore horror.
Yep.
I'm a psychological thriller horror.
Yeah, okay. Because the suspense is in the silence.
The suspense is in the silence.
And so you need
and
some
I
of that.
somehow like, this probably adds to me being a psychopath. I like to see people's life crush and their mental state just completely collapse
I like
in front
to
of my
see-
house in 2 hours.
A beautiful woman go on a holiday and then everything goes to shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Midsommar.
Midsommar.
Florence Pugh is amazing.
So good.
I wrote, her boyfriend is an arsehole and her friends are dicks.
Correct.
And it's one of those movies where if they're going to Sweden to do this stuff, obviously he's not going to tell them all the story. But there were certain points that he could have just been like, heads up, this happens.
Some shit's going to go down.
Yeah.
Although maybe if he's like, well, if you want to be that American kind of study idiot and be like, oh, look at these foreign Swedish people,
Yeah.
I'm going to make you watch someone's head smash open on a rock.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was great.
And then it was like, maybe I've watched too many movies. As soon as they go to that thing and I see a cliff, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
somebody's jumping.
Yeah.
So that jumped, and then they were like, and then what I didn't expect was the follow-up of the man to jump and it not fully work.
So they had to...
Then they had to get that big hammer,
Yep.
and then crush his head. And then for like half an hour later, for it to flash back to that thing for no reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a great movie that, and even though you know shit is going wrong,
You want to watch it.
You are dragged through the suspense, and you're like, well, why don't you just leave? But you're like, well, they probably can't leave.
They can't.
And then two of them did leave and clearly got killed.
Yeah, because then in the end, they're on the TP.
Yeah.
Not TP, but... the only thing I was like, other than her boyfriend being an asshole, is that sometimes it did seem to be making fun of that culture. But then I think they were making fun of it, so then we're like, well, if you do make fun of us, then we're going to kill you.
I think that's a little of what I just said, of like, oh, you know, these Americans met one of us, and the guy's like, oh, fuck, all they keep doing is asking me about what my little fucking commune is like.
Yeah.
I'm going to show them.
Yeah.
And so then there is that tone of like, oh, look at these weird little Swedish people.
Yeah.
And then like, bang, actually, we're going to kill all of you.
Yeah. Yep.
Except for
Florence Pugh.
spoiler, becomes the queen.
And the reason I
And he
started
becomes
watching
the
it
gorilla,
is
or the
because
bear, actually.
of the bear. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
The reason I watched it is because I watched that on a Sunday night just before I went to bed. Don't recommend.
Okay.
The day before, I went to the movies and I watched a new movie called The Substance. It is fucked up.
Oh, okay.
It
Good?
is messed up. It's so good. It's not for the weak stomach.
Yeah, I've heard a review of this.
If you don't like gore and blood and what's that?
Body horror.
Body horror.
Yep.
Don't watch it.
Yep.
I was
Demi
fine
Moore's
with that.
apparently very good.
She was incredible. And then because I was watching it and I'm like, what have I seen her good in?
Striptease.
Sure, I haven't seen that. Well, she does a full strip.
A Few Good Men.
Yeah, A Few Good Men.
G.I. Jane. Come on, Brett. G.I. Jane.
I haven't seen that. Her and the other lead are very good.
Yep.
And then it sets it up very well. And again, it's this kind of psychological thing of messing up with your head. And then she goes a bit nutso. And it was great until the last like 20, 30 minutes. And then like the wheels kind of fell off a bit and it just went chaotic. And I'm like, what? No, well, this is kind of ruining it.
Just went a bit weird.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a long Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
It's like not too distant future. This could really happen.
Old women could get sacked for not being hot enough.
Yeah. This could really happen. And then the last 20 minutes of it was, okay, now we're not so much in what could possibly be a reality anymore. And it's taken me out of it. But
Ghost. Demi Moore. Probably her biggest movie. She's also good acting, but also she's playing a 50-year-old and she's 61.
yeah, she looks bloody good.
Yeah.
And look, if the Academy is in a horror mood,
Yep.
could do all right.
Okay.
Script, I reckon, yes. Sounds very good. Directing's good. Editing's really good. So I don't get squeamish. There's a bit that's like thing, and then there's blood. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But then there's one bit with like her fingernail. And I'm like, oh, that then I cringe.
Yep.
And it didn't gross me out as much as I worked it out. This is kind of off topic, but not. AFL and sports.
Yep. When they show the...
You need to put a trigger warning
Yep.
before you show a slow motion of someone
Blowing their ankle
blowing
apart.
out their knee.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I was
'Cause that
watching an
shit's
AFLW thing, and the chick's leg literally almost went in. My leg went that way, my leg went that way.
Oh my
right?
God.
And they showed in slow motion. I felt physically sick. I was watching it, and I was watching it with Mum, and I was like, oh my God. And she's like, I'm like, I feel nauseous. It was really bad.
Because it's real.
Yeah. And it's like slow motion, and it's like, oh, there. And they're pointing it. Let's show it again. I'm like, don't show it again. Anyway.
All right. So we're all recommendations today, except Do a Folly.
Do a Folly.
So Bullet Train recommending. Folly I Do is a mess.
Yep.
Agatha All Along. If you're not an MCU hardcore fanboy, good. Probably also good if you're a hardcore fanboy, if you just get over the fact that queers and women exist.
Yeah.
Substance, good.
Substance, very good.
Midsommar, I'm very on the record of recommending.
Yeah,
and you are joining the party.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like about Midsommar is that it's bright.
That's
like
true.
all the scary shit happens in the bright sunlight, which I actually really like. If you can scare me without having to have that shot
in a
where
dark
someone
room.
turns the light on in a room and someone's there.
And it's also not gory.
No.
Up until it is.
It's the tension and the suspense.
Yeah. And it's made in the silence.
Suspense is made in the sunlight.
The Swedish sunlight.
No, not as catchy.
No.
Anyway, if you want to come and hear us talk about Disney animated movies, to be on a completely different topic to horror, then get tickets for Songs from the Magic Kingdom in collaboration with Burundara Brass on the 24th of November, not very far away.
No.
And next month's live event for Rainbow Popcorn is The Happiest Season with Kristen Stewart for a Christmas movie. So get your tickets for that as well. Top 5 this month.
Have we decided?
We have decided. It is top 5 movies where the band is in the movies. So top 5 band movies.
Do they have to be real bands?
Well, we'll just put that out there to the people.
Right.
Obviously, on the back of Can't Stop the Music by the Village People.
Yeah. I can think of 3.
Related to Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which is coming up in 2 weeks' time.
Speaking of flopbusters.
Top
that
5,
actually made a lot of money.
Top 5 band movies. Get in touch with us on the socials and let us know what you think of those. Get your tickets for the live events coming up soon. Thanks for listening to another episode of To Drink Cinema. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lee. Cheers. Thanks for listening to Two Drink Cinema. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was produced and pay our respects to elders past and present.
If you'd like to support the podcast, either leave the tip or become a member for early access to these episodes by using the link in the show notes.
Join the Facebook group for more chat about the movies we review, and make sure you follow us on the socials to keep up to date.
Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review on your podcast app.
Happy viewing and drink responsibly.